Welcome to Omni Dental Podcast. This is the deep dive, and today we're digging into something we hear, well, surprisingly often, actually. The question is, can you use Invisalign if you have missing teeth?
Yeah, it sounds like it shouldn't work, doesn't it? And that's exactly what we're going to explore. We're using source material provided to us, specifically information from Omni Dental in Arlington Heights. They've got details on Invisalign when teeth are missing and, some general info about their practice, too.
Okay, so our mission here is to unpack what this material says about clear aligners, like Invisalign, when you've got gaps in your smile. And also, just based on these sources, get a feel for Omnidental as a place for this kind of information. The material calls them a family dental practice located in Arlington Heights, Illinois. It's led by Dr. Bayless Poles and focuses on, well, comprehensive care.
Right. So let's get straight to the kind of the main takeaway from the source material, because it might surprise you. The direct answer given is yes. A clear yes. It states Invisalign has been clinically proven to work even with tooth replacement. So whether you're missing one or two teeth, or potentially even more.
Wow, okay. That's pretty significant right off the bat. How does the source material explain how that works? Like, how can aligners function if there's no tooth there?
Well, the material explains that Invisalign uses these custom-molded aligners, right? They're designed to gradually straighten the teeth you do have. It's FDA-approved technology. And while, yes, the focus is moving existing teeth, the system is apparently designed to accommodate those empty spaces.
And the sources mention different kinds of tooth replacements someone might already have, correct? Like implants or bridges.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it lists things like dental implants, bridges, partial dentures, even full dentures. And it notes that while each of these might need some specific handling, some modifications, perhaps during the Invisalign process, the basic idea of aligning the remaining teeth with the trays, that's still on the table.
Okay, and here's something that seems really key, maybe a bit unexpected. The source highlights that you can align your teeth using just the aligner trays. So generally, you don't have to wear, say, your partial denture at the same time as the aligner during the actual straightening part. Is that right?
That's what it suggests, yes.
Hmm.
The aligner tray itself is the device doing the straightening work on the existing teeth, which, probably simplifies things during treatment.
Definitely.
And the material also goes into the types of dental problems Invisalign can supposedly fix, even with missing teeth. Sort of reinforcing that having gaps doesn't automatically rule out fixing other issues.
Right. And the list seems pretty broad. It mentions things like overcrowding, spacing issues. What else? Tooth rotation, deep bites, teeth that are too far apart, cross bites, even things like excessive curve in the teeth or front teeth sticking out.
Yeah, a whole range of malocclusions, as they call them. So according to this source, Invisalign can potentially tackle quite a bit, and the missing teeth are just sort of factored into that plan, not necessarily a roadblock.
Thinking practically about wearing them day to day,
Yeah.
the material mentions fit, right? They need to fit well.
Oh, absolutely. It says they should fit firmly but comfortably for the best results. And naturally, as your teeth shift, you might need adjustments over time to keep that optimal fit.
Makes sense. Fit is key.
For sure.
Now, the sources also brought up something really interesting. Using Invisalign to actually prepare for a future tooth replacement?
Yes, that's a really important point. It's not just about working with existing replacements. The idea is you can use the aligners to shift your current teeth into better positions, maybe creating the right amount of space or the right alignment to make it easier or more ideal to place an implant or a bridge later. And the aligners are adjusted as that prep work happens.
That's quite strategic. Okay, let's touch on cost. Did the material give any figures?
It did provide a range. It suggests Invisalign treatment typically falls between $3,000 and $5,500. Obviously, that depends on things like how complex the case is, how many aligner trays you'll need. The sources also hint it might sometimes be, more affordable than traditional braces, maybe even faster. But that varies case by case, of course.
Okay, so wrapping this part up based on this info, who is the ideal candidate for Invisalign, especially if missing teeth are involved?
Well, the source paints a broad picture initially. Basically, anyone wanting straighter teeth without metal braces. But, and this is the really critical part, they emphasize your actual candidacy depends heavily on your specific dental health. Things like, what's the condition of your remaining teeth, your gums, your bone structure. The material is clear that sometimes traditional braces are the better option. It gives an example like, if teeth are severely crooked and there just isn't enough space to move them effectively with aligners.
So it's definitely not a guaranteed yes for everyone, but it's more possible than you might think. And this information, again, comes from Omni Dental in Arlington Heights. The sources present them as a local place to explore this.
That's right. And we got a bit more detail about OmniDental itself from the materials. The address is 305E Rand Road, Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Led by Dr. Billis Poles. The info mentions he has over a decade of experience, and that includes handling things like dental injuries and emergencies, too.
Yeah, and they stress that they offer, like, a full range of dental services. It's not just cosmetic stuff like Invisalign. It includes general dentistry, implants, dentures, the works. They position themselves as covering comprehensive oral health.
The sources also talk about their approach focusing on personalized treatment plans, trying to make appointments comfortable, using up-to-date technology.
Uh-huh. It describes a patient-first approach. They use the phrase, treat patients like family, and it lists the communities they serve. Arlington Heights, obviously, but also places nearby like Buffalo Grove, Palatine, Mount Prospect, Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg, Wheeling, Des Plaines, and Elk Grove Village.
Good to know the service area. And importantly, for anyone listening who's thinking about Invisalign after hearing this, the material says OmniDental offers free consultations for treatments like this.
Right. So let's summarize the main point from this deep dive. If you're missing teeth and thought clear aligners were completely off the table, well, this information from OmniDental suggests you might want to reconsider that assumption.
Exactly. The big takeaway seems to be missing teeth don't automatically disqualify you from using Invisalign. According to this material, it can be an option. It can work alongside replacements you already have, or even help set things up for future ones.
But, and we really have to stress this, just like the sources do, figuring out if it's right for you specifically, that needs a professional evaluation.
Absolutely.
Your individual dental health, your teeth, your gums, your bone, that's what ultimately decides it.
So if you are in that area and this has piqued your interest, the contact info provided in the source material for OmniDental is 847-483-8833. Or you can visit their office there in Arlington Heights.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Considering how versatile things like dental implants and bridges are becoming, and hearing from this source how clear aligners like Invisalign might integrate even in complex cases with missing teeth, what does that really tell us about the possibilities in modern dentistry for tackling alignment challenges that once seemed, well, very difficult? Something to think about.